Hi, this is Derek Shumway on the DollarProbs Startup Company podcast, and today is December 3rd, 2020. We're bringing in on our usual Thursday theme, and I'm here with my two interns, and today we are going to share the name of our car and what we drive, and maybe a little, insight into our private car lives. But I'll go after the end, after you two here.
This is Matt, intern number 1 for DollarProbs. So I drive a Mazda 3. It's a 2010, so 10 years old. My car's name is Iceman, and this came about with some roommates two years ago when we all moved into the same place together. We rented a little townhome, and we watched Top Gun one of those first days, and we all decided to name our cars. And we all had pretty new cars at the time. Like, we hadn't named them yet, so we all decided to go Top Gun name. So my roommates were Maverick and Goose, and then mine was Iceman. And they've since moved out and sold their cars, and so Iceman is the last one left of the 3.
How exciting! And what kind is he again? You said
it's a Mazda.
Oh, Mazda. Okay.
Mazda 3.
All right. This is Adam, intern number 2. So I actually drive a 2005 Kia Sorento. It's a gold. It's
So like Matt's pants there?
No, it's like it's more kind of like that wood right there, honestly.
Oh, this kind.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. When I got it, the engine, it was my dad's old car, so the engine was blown up and stuff, and so I had to get a new engine, new transmission, and do a lot of work on it. And then so I've pretty much just been waiting to get rid of this car, so it's kind of a POS. So because it's so ugly and gross and I don't treat it very well, I named her Gertrude, because that's just a horrible name.
That is.
If there's any Gertrudes listening to this podcast,
we sincerely apologize.
I do not apologize.
That's uncalled for.
Name.
I don't worry. He won't be working for me in a few weeks. So, I was like, let me show you a picture of my car, guys. But you've seen my car.
Yeah.
I drive a blue Hyundai Sonata 2006. Very old, but the inside's nice, so I keep it nice and stuff. I feel bad because I feel like, his name, it's a he, is Norm. My middle name is Norman, and I called him Norm because my niece and nephews, they would call me Uncle Norm, and so then we just related it to the car, Uncle Norm, or the car Norm. And I feel like Norm was abused as a youth. When I bought him, I don't think he was treated very well. I think he was left outside a lot and not taken care of very well, too nicely and stuff, and so, it's kind of bald on the top and skin falling off there and stuff, and so he's to the end of his life, and I've decided that I will not pay any more money for repairs because I bought him for $2,500 from a contact, and I have since spent about $3,600 in repairs in 2 years. I mean, tires, but then also lots of stuff underneath the hood. So we're not a mechanical family. I had 3 mechanics check it before I bought it because we're like, we'll do our due diligence, we'll do our homework, and it was like fine. I was like, just fix these little things, and then like after that it should be fine. If you treat it well, it should treat you well. Like literally after the keys are handed to me, like just all the problems just started cascading. Every few months, every few weeks, he gets sick and has to go to the mechanics, and then Papa Derek has to pay a lot of money he doesn't have, which is why he's a poor substitute teacher. So working 3 jobs, which only like 2 of them pay, but that's okay. That's my DollarProbs, my DollarProbs story. So, anyways, that's an interesting rant. So what was it? Iceman? Iceman and Gertrude. Gertrude. How ugly of a name! Wow.
Oh yeah, that's the purpose.
You have to bite your tongue on that one. So we have to talk today about a lot of things and stuff. This is just kind of discussion because I realized this is why I was so inspired by the first question on this note here. Are you? So we're just going over questions and discussing how the semester's, because we're basically done, and next week we're going to meet with the president of UVU, Asher Tamines, and that will kind of be the end of the semester there. So the first question is: are you relieved that this internship and semester are nearly over? How do you guys feel about that?
Yes.
To help you talk,
So relieved.
I assure you I am relieved that it's over.
I am so glad it's over. I took 18 credits because
That's more than I can count in Chinese. That is a lot.
And
I am
it was-
Chinese, by the way. So
And yeah, and they're all like my hard classes, like my finance, my operation management, and not my capstone. I'm taking that next semester, but everything else leading up to the capstone.
what about
and
economics, micro, macro?
I did those like last year, but yeah, it's this semester, especially with like all online learning, has definitely rammed me.
So you don't come to school then for yours,
No, I
but
don't.
you come to school for your class, don't you?
Yeah, I did, and then after Thanksgiving,
Oh, okay.
canceled.
Yeah,
it.
so we're on the same page
All
there.
online, but
Now, did I ask you, what is operations management? Have you taken operations management?
yeah, about a year ago.
What is that math, or is it like case studies of
So
like
it's math.
people, like soft skills?
It's basically like, okay, it's like me working at Costa Vida. It would be like pretty much all the like the costs. It's mostly like cost relation type things. Just making sure that you're. I honestly don't even know how to describe it. Like it's lots of math.
Okay.
It's,
Okay. So okay.
It's just like the general operations of a business. So
Yeah.
everything that going to running one and operating, and so like a lot of case studies
Okay.
you look at and do.
And then it's lots of like, what's the best way to run, like, to work these machines, like having this person do these machines, and like, what's the best time consuming, or what's the least time consuming, what's the best, I can't think of the word, whatever, but
efficiency or whatever.
efficiency, there we go.
Yeah. I was gonna say I watched a great documentary on Netflix the other day. I had to watch it from one of my China politics class there, and it was called "The American Factory" on Netflix, and it's just this documentary about a GM factory that closed down in Dayton, Ohio, and then a Chinese company comes in, buys it, turns it into a glass factory, hires Americans and brings in Chinese people to work, and shows the problems and everyone's, angle of view of how to run a business. And in the end, they were bleeding money at the beginning, and then in the end, they finally did turn a profit. And this is new document. This is like they started filming in like the first of the filming was in like 2008, and then it ended filming up to like 2018 and stuff. And now the company's making money at the expense of now they've got machines taking over parts of it. So it's like interesting operation management. And then that theory in economics where like do you remember those problems in your problem sets about if you have like a pizza kitchen restaurant and you only have 3 ovens but 2 stoves and 5 workers, but if you add like 6 workers, it's more effective. But once you add 7 workers, then the output of pizzas like diminishes, and so it's too many people. Like
That's
that
stuff
thing.
that I would do. That's stuff that I do in this class.
Okay.
It's like, how much time should each cycle run? Who should be running? Where should each person be in order to make sure that they can get the maximum output and stuff like that?
Yes.
It's just a giant waste of time.
A waste of time.
It is not actually a giant waste of
That's
time.
how I
but
feel like when I try to figure out with interns, I'm like, what is the maximum productive output if I give them this versus this to do? But I didn't read the textbook, so I probably would have been better prepared, But I feel
Yeah.
Well, that's good. What about so yeah, you're relieved too, right,
I'm
Matt?
relieved too, yeah.
I
It's
am
just
relieved.
been busy. I took 15 credits.
And that's nothing to sneeze about.
Yeah, and then I graduate next semester, so I've been working more just to save up some more money for that. So working
Same.
more, still taking a lot of classes, and then the online aspect made it a lot harder to learn anything and get stuff done in group projects. And
Logistically, it's really easy to like do online because you just sit there in your room. But then like actual learning wise, I look back, I'm like, I
learn
feel
the same
really
thing.
bad
Yeah.
about some classes. I'm like, I really don't, you know.
I'm not gonna say what my name is, but I'm just gonna say there's a certain website that I would often be checking to make sure I have the
Well,
right answers.
Now, by saying that, your name's already on these podcasts, but
I don't.
that's
care.
okay. That's okay. You know, like,
just use it as a study guide.
you know.
Yeah, I'm just using it as a study
This is
guide.
not. This is not like, you know, during Proctorio.
It's not like I would ever
sure.
do that on tests.
You know, oh, of course not. We're very ethical here at DollarProbs.
But yeah, so it's awful.
Well, that's good. I think my hardest class will be not my Chinese class, but this American Politics Party class, only because the final will be. No, sorry, it will be. Sorry, I lied. My Chinese class will be the hardest one because the final will not be open book, but the other is open book, take home, and the other class we just don't have a final or anything. It's just normal assignments, which is great and stuff there. So your plans for next semester, I was curious. So you mentioned, Matt, that you are saving up money because you graduate in April. So you are going to take classes next semester. Is that what you need to do?
So
Or
next semester is going to be my last semester. I'll graduate, and
how many classes do you need to take?
so here's the fun thing about that. So I only need 6 more credits to graduate,
Oh, that's not like
but I
you.
have an internship, or not an internship. I have a scholarship that pays for schooling, which is nice, but it requires 15 credits. So I only need 6
Is it the
credits.
Louis?
Huh?
The Louis?
It's the presidential.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Yeah. And so I only need 6 credits to graduate, but I have to take 15 to
How do you?
keep my
What do you do
scholarship.
then?
And so I'm just taking like
Do you
3 random classes. So I'm taking like a health class, a finance class, and some other class that I've heard, a nutrition one that I've heard is super easy.
Okay, now the finance doesn't sound very easy as a
So
breeze
it's
to do.
intro
but-
to finance, and as a I enjoy finance and like.
Oh, okay.
and
That
so
still
I've
makes me
taken
like.
the harder ones, and so it's an easier one, and I'll enjoy it.
Oh, okay,
It's
that's
super
good.
easy.
I was gonna recommend like intro to film
I took
or
that one already.
oceanography. Who did you take it with?
Oceanography.
Was it with the
Oh.
girl or the boy teacher?
was
Moody or Jill?
It was
You-
Moody.
Okay, I took it with Jill.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, so let's move on and stuff there. What about you, Adam? What are your plans next semester?
So I'm also graduating next semester.
We're all graduating next semester in April.
Yeah. So I need 13 credits to graduate,
That's not bad.
4 of which are from the capstone. So the other 3 are just like the 3,000 or junior or higher
Mhm.
classes. I don't even remember what I'm taking. I know 2 of them I'm taking. I know people who've taken the classes. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Okay. It's hard to say stuff when we know we're being recorded that
Yeah.
will be saved forever and ever and ever in the annals of the internet. But
I'm not
I'm
too
very
worried
proud
about
of
it.
this podcast. Believe me, I'm very proud of it because, you know, then
Yeah.
you can listen to this like when you're old and you're like, oh my gosh, like I'll keep paying for the $7 a month to keep it up there because once you stop paying, then they like take it down. So unless you like really want me to stop paying, then I'll stop paying. But you know, I'll at least have to download all the files before. Oh no, we have a copy and stuff because I've saved a hard copy.
And then that's about it for me. Just graduating, working. Same old
So
thing.
Costa Vida still?
No,
Is it just
I'm-
Costa Vida? Wait.
So in January, I'm supposed to start a new job for a company called Progressive Leasing,
Okay.
which they do like if you bought a new phone and you couldn't pay for it, instead of dealing with the banks, like they'll finance it for you.
Oh, a loan shark.
Yeah, so they're kind of like, I wouldn't say they're a loan shark, but
Okay.
but they're a legal.
Like the Cash City stuff, kind of like, or Lendio. Lendio's a
I don't
pretty
even know what
trendy
that
company
is.
in Lehigh. It's like a big, like lending company of some sort.
Yeah,
I don't know.
so-
They're in the news and stuff.
Yeah, it's just one of those. I'll just be working like the customer service there, and then going to school all online again. So
All online.
yeah.
I do feel bad for all online people. My little sister's 18. She graduated this past May, and she's in her first semester at UU here. And I feel bad that she so far how the experience that we've had being on campus and stuff like this.
It used to be fun. Campus used to be a good time.
Well, I'm like actually like pretty sad to be here today in the sense knowing that this is the second last time I'll be here for a long time. Because I'm like, well, what else will I? Cause I can't imagine how I'll ever come back here again anytime soon after we're done next week and stuff. So I miss it and stuff. And when we met in that one class in the CB building the last 2 times ago or so, I chose that because that's why I had a French class here. I liked that class a lot. So brought back memories and stuff. So there you go. Little baby feelings inside. So the next question was, look, this time just goes by so fast. That's because I talk too much, guys. Was what we learned about DollarProbs. I'll start us off here on this. I learned a lot, obviously. It's just like, a second startup company, but third semester working with students, and there's just, I feel bad that it's like when I substitute teach. You just cannot take care and work one-on-one with every single student and make sure they can read and do their math and do their science and everything, do all the lessons. And then by the end of the day, you're just like, did they learn anything? Did they have a good day at least? And I think they do and stuff, but it's hard with this and then the teaching job and then my main current job at Blue Raven Solar, balancing them all together, which I love all 3 jobs, but it's just time. And then I'm taking a measly, it was 9 credits, which was a lot for me and stuff. And then a 1 credit class was internship things that was 10. So it feels like full time for me. And then with that, so it's, in our own ways, it's like a lot of work. But I was like, oh my gosh, the next DollarProbs is going to be a pasteurized juice company. I was looking at juice bottling and how to make juice and manufacturing and processing and understanding how to buy and clean and use those breaking seal tamper proof things when you twist off and snaps, so you know whether it's been used or not. I thought there was some secret special way to seal on. All it is you get your clean bottle, you fill it up with whatever, and then it comes and you just screw it on all the way tight, and and then once you take it off, then it snaps. But it's not pre-sealed or anything. It's just in the open air and stuff. So it's not as hard as I thought it would be. I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon. But I don't know. That's why I was like, it's hard to I feel like if it were my only thing, DollarProbs in life, and I didn't have to do school, I didn't have to do 2 other jobs, then it would be far more successful. I'm thinking you guys would think the same thing about that if it were not for work, and school and everything else, right?
Yeah.
But as an internship, is that, I don't know. Do you feel I guess you could have done of course you could have done an internship anywhere else, but then you did it here with me, and I appreciate that. And so I'm like, oh, okay, I don't know how you perceive it and stuff. I don't know, when you look back and you're like, I did this, fantastic e-learning online at UVU, and I did this fantastic once a week internship with some rando Asian, on CB 314. Well, so so I'm just curious, are you guys still in an entrepreneurial mindset more or less right now than you were perhaps at the beginning of the semester, where you feel okay, after I get done with school, I definitely want to do my own company one day and be my own boss? Or are you no, I just would rather let somebody else take care of it and I'll just show up to work? How do you feel about that perspective? Do you want to start your own businesses again, or do you have an idea now that some time has passed?
I'll go first. I still do. I still want to own my own business. I think something in just from this experience, and then also Derek's had us listen to some podcasts.
Did you listen to some?
I listened to a few.
Oh, yeah. Talk about that, yeah.
I can't even remember what the podcast.
It was called How I Built This.
Yeah, How I Built This. I listened to a few episodes. It just went through and talked to some people who had started businesses that were successful, such as Warby Parker or Kickstarter, and those were the 2 I listened to, actually.
Okay.
And so it was just interesting hearing those experiences and working here. And so I'm still in the entrepreneurial mindset, but more so of I'd rather I guess, franchise, like buy a franchise, and so it's like still entrepreneurial and like I'd have
That's
we'd
still
have
very
our own
entrepreneurial. I
thing,
mean, like you're.
but not
Yeah.
starting something from scratch, or similar to what my uncles did. They bought pharmacies that were established rather than starting them from the ground up, and so that's just something that I think more am inclined to is either a franchise or buying something that's already a business and established rather than starting something from the ground up. That's just more of my entrepreneurial mindset, what I'd enjoy more rather than start from the beginning.
Even like just being assigned a new department or manager over a department, like I'm like that is entrepreneurial because like even though you didn't create the new, I don't know, diversity and inclusion team or whatever, like you still have that ability to change so much going forward. Huge effect on employees and stuff. I mean, we all know what it's like when you get a new boss and you're just your whole world, you know. So no, I like that. Thanks for sharing that, Matt. What about you, Adam?
I don't know.
He was consulting
Well, I've always
Johansson
like,
Investments, you know.
like, yeah, of course, I'd like to own my own business, but I for sure don't know if I would want to. Like, I've always heard that like it's better to try to start your own business when you're younger because then there's not as much like financial risk and stuff. But I'm just calling
14,000 is nothing.
Yeah, and I'm calling BS on that one. Like I would like to start my own, but it would if I were to start my own company, it would probably just be like a different version of a company that's already made. You know.
Oh, well, yeah, I don't know how... It's so hard to come up with like a truly brand new company, because, like, this is a duplicate of everything. Like, everything is duplicate, like, but not to, like, discourage you, because, like, that's how you do it, is to improve it, obviously, because no one makes a company hoping that they're less efficient than the other leading competitors, you know.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I mean, being an entrepreneur is not glamorous, I don't think. Unless you're really just truly bankrolled by someone and given all sorts of money and resources, then perhaps it might be a glamorous lifestyle. But in reality, I feel like when you read those sad, depressing statistics that are like 99% of people fail and give up in the first 5 years or something, and I was like, oh man, you know, I vowed not to become part of that first 5 years thing. I'm only in year 3. So if I can do
two different companies.
If I can do at least one more failed company in 5 years, I will have surpassed the expectations of folding up completely, where I'd still push through the statistic that, you know, entrepreneurs give up after 5 years of trying. So we'll see about that and stuff. Are there things that you've learned in this that you're like, oh, I think this is interesting that I like, or maybe in your own work and stuff, at the pharmacy, Matt, or at the Costa Vida there, Adam, we're like, I like this process, and like, this is something I want to do in my own company, in my own mind. And then things that are like, oh, I actually would not like to do this because I realize that I'm not a fan of this. For example, when we use Slack and stuff, that was inspired because we used it at Blue Raven when I first started working there, and I loved Slack, and so I made my interns use it the first bit and stuff there. We haven't used it much now, but we used to use it a lot better in the beginning. So that's why we still use Slack and stuff, because I liked it. And in terms of like trying to like offer, be like, you can always leave comments and feedback and stuff. That's because my current boss right now, which I love him to death there, he always, you know, pounds us for feedback, and you know, you can always door open policy. And I know a lot of bosses say that, and it's very cliche sounding. But I've always felt very, very comfortable sharing that with them. So that's why I was like, oh, I should always let my interns know that they can say whatever's on their mind. And even if nothing's on their mind, then nothing is something for me, you know. So that's something that I liked, that I took from them. And like something that I didn't like, that I didn't want to repeat in this was like, I don't know. Well, maybe like death-defying punishments for absences. I remember at previous jobs, if you were like the bureaucracy and the levels of administration that you have to jump through to process an absence or a tardy. I was like, that is just insane. Too much work. Let's just let people have life that if they come late by accident, you know, obviously for that reasonable, rational then we should not we also used to clock in, and like the interns, like you would clock into a time management system, but that did not go down very well. So as part of rolling back to feedback when we talked to them, we decided to get rid of that because they didn't like it. So, and I was happy. So that's something that I thought of for this. But if you guys have something you thought, oh, I like this in anything here or another job, then I'd love to hear something if something comes to mind.
Yeah, one thing in my mind was like the podcast, and more so just like the accountability it brings, where we know, I mean, we don't have probably a large following on there listening to it. But
Yes,
some
it's
people
never
might,
been
and then,
advertised greatly, but it could be in the future though still.
yeah, and then just knowing like every week when we meet, we'd be recording it, so we'd have to come prepared to share stuff. And so just the accountability feature that the podcast was, so just something like that I'd like to implement. Or
I think it is an interesting way to. I was like, I never thought of who records their employees and
Yeah.
publishes it as accountability for them. You know, at work and stuff. Are your team scores or your individual? Do you get performance scores at work and stuff?
you know.
Okay, well, you probably are. They shared publicly with other?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all individual. I mean, I used to have access back when I was the manager. I would have access to everyone's, and so like we usually would have like once a year at whatever specific time, all the team members would eventually get their performance reviews, and so I'd have access and be like, "You got a 26." But,
Judging people.
of course, I got to prove my worth. But as far as what I would keep, I liked the whole, like, it wasn't just like, oh, it's Derek's idea and we need to try to keep it, like, try to stay true to what Derek, like, would want. I like how it was very open, like, open conversation, and, like, oh, maybe we should do this. And, like, if we had any ideas, anything like, oh, no, we should try this, or that wouldn't work because this.
Yeah, that's good. I think the best example that I can think of is when we did that day, and I was like showing you like the cost for like one more, and then like manufacturing and like buying boxes. Like wholeheartedly up until that day, I feel like we took a consensus. Like it was still. I hope it wasn't like my way or the highway. So because through this whole time, I was heck bent on making sure that we would not get our own boxes because I did not want to deal with that. I didn't want to ship other stuff. I was like, we're just going to sell it literally in the same box we get it. I was totally against increasing the cost for that internally and stuff. But then after you guys brought it up again and again a few times, and then we thought about it and we discussed it, I was like, oh, you know what? Let's change it and stuff. So we changed it. And I'm actually glad because that taught us a lot about like, it's just like going on like finding prices and just figuring out how does this all. So I'm like actually super glad we did that now that I look back in hindsight, because it just taught me more about supply chain operation management, which is boring but interesting. And had you guys not felt bad about not getting our own boxes, I would have felt bad too. So I like that. So that's good. I like that. Any other questions or comments or like things coming up to mind as your like creative juices are flowing maybe right now in your brains or whatever? I do appreciate though that we've started because I think it's mostly me when I talk at the beginning than when we start a little bit later. But I definitely appreciate your punctuality. So that makes a lot of a good. That's a helpful thing and stuff, because not everyone's punctual. Sometimes I'm not punctual. Today was the first time that I think I was late. But then my other jobs, though, and stuff, like I was late this morning to my sub job by a few minutes, and so that didn't look too great. But I appreciate that and stuff, because it means a lot, and I remember those little things and stuff. Next week, we're just going to meet to see the president. Are you able to come to that?
What time is it out again?
What did I say? Was it 1:15?
I thought, yeah, that was 1:15.
I'm pretty sure it was 1:15.
I'm sure I can make it happen. I'm so over my job that
Yeah, 115 to 145.
Okay.
I think.
If need be, I'll just not show up.
I've got, I've got I said I've got great confidence that if you have I can't speak on behalf of work because I don't like my interns to ever put DollarProbs before their own work and school and family life and all that stuff there. So that takes precedence before this. But then I thought, well, if it was a UVU thing, I would feel very confident in you telling your professor or whatever and be like, I get to see Astrid, so therefore I will be gone. So I thought that should be pretty decent reasoning to miss whatever to do this. But if, something bad happens in strict scheduling, then I understand if you can't. But I would really like for all of us to be there too, because I'm super excited to see her.
Is it a virtual meeting?
It should be in person.
Okay.
Meeting with her in her office in that executive whatever up there is what I'm assuming. I should confirm that it's in person because I did make it clear in the initial contact that we wanted to come see her office, see her in person, and that we wear masks and be safe, and because we wanted some pictures and stuff, and to learn about it and stuff. So I fully expect it to be in person. I will be really sad if it's virtual, because then I'll be super sad actually. But I do expect it to be in person. I think we should just meet like 10 or so minutes before, like down on the BA on the main floor or something, then we can just go up together. But definitely, I won't be late to it. We'll be early for the meeting with her and whoever, if anyone else is there. And I thought it would be good, because we only have a half hour, so all they could fit for on a Thursday, that we could ask like 2 questions each, or just put on at least 1 question about anything that you want to ask her. Life, schooling. I would hope that we don't bring up a bone to fight, a bone to pick, about UVU with her, as much as we might have one or not. I don't know what it is, but I hope it's a happy, positive, and you can ask something. I'm sure you can. I have no problems if you want to ask something general, like, what is your favorite part about your job? Then that's great. You can ask her that. I have so many questions I want to ask her. I don't know how to narrow it down to one. I think my question will be I would like her to share a brief example of how 2 different departments or multiple departments competed for resources and how she was able to grapple with that or balance it out. And even if one department ended up with the resources, how she was able to calm the others.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that must be competitive when departments, get jealous over funding maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, why do they get a new building but we, Or I might ask something like, what's your favorite ice cream? I won't ask that, but, come with a question or 2 in mind. We can talk about. I'm sure with only a half hour we'll go there, we'll say hello. She'll be like, so what are you here for today? And we'll just say, well, we're interns, and she might ask you and be like, what do you like? DollarProbs. And I hope you, if it's not as good as an answer, I hope you don't tell the truth. But if it's a good answer, then please tell the truth. And yeah, we'll just, I hope we can get some pictures after. And then you can have cool pictures and stuff with the president. I'll share them on social media because I'll be super proud of that. I'll also, so we won't meet after that. After that, I think we'll just be done because that makes sense, right? Yeah, I think that would be, we'll be good and stuff. So no more Thursdays after next week. We'll just coming early to meet her, so we'll be on time and for that. And then I also I was going to try to do it tonight, but I obviously did not, and there's no way I'll get that done tonight. But by next Thursday, I also will bring and have ready letters of recommendation for you guys. So I'll do that for interns. I'll have a letter for you. You can use that for future job things. I'll also send you some info. I'll package it up on another big fat Derek email novel. I'll give you the information if you want to apply to be a substitute, and links for Blue Raven if you're inclined at all to apply for a job through that. If not, then you have it, and you know that I worked there, and in the future, that can work out. I am hoping that the way with my schedule it's working out is I technically am done this semester. I fulfilled the stuff in my degree, but I'm on the cusp of getting an internship. I have the final interview tomorrow. If I do that, then I would be able to go to Washington, D.C. and do this. It would be a student reporter job where I would, it's for a media company called Broadband Breakfast. And it would be, you'd be like a member of the press, and you would go to the nation's capital and cover like congressional hearings and Senate hearings, things like that on issues relating to broadband technology and politics and stuff there. I'm super excited if it works out. Also, because no one else hired me. So, it's like that one and only job offer out there. So, but it's a good company though, and so well respected. And so I'll do that in January. And then you have to do like the internship credits. You have to do like an internship credit, like what you guys are doing for 3 credits. Mm-hmm. And then I also have to take another like specialty 3 credit writing research class, which is
a waste of time.
well, it's a very productive and learns a lot, but it's a lot of work on top of it, So technically, I can't graduate until, because I have to be a student, so I would get my diploma in April, but only till it's from January to the middle, till it's just a semester. So that's my schedule for that, and then after that, when summer comes, I will hope to find another new job. So I'll give up all 3 jobs in school here and then work for free. I'll pay to work. I'll pay to work there in DC and pay like $6,000 to work for free to live there and all that stuff, pay tuition. I'll come back and figure out and maybe hopefully. Do you guys want to do a graduate program again? Masters down the road?
Maybe down the road, but not
okay.
Really.
Yeah, not.
Do we need a break from school?
Yes.
Okay. I'm on the fence. I want to. I need to. I feel inclined to get on that. But then I'm sure once summer comes and all that, it's just what to do. So, just know that in 7 months from now, I will be getting off the UTA, coming back home, feeling more lost than a potato bug out on the sidewalk. So, think of me, hashtag Phantom of the Opera. That was a corny joke, but no, I think that's great there. So, I don't know. We're just about the end there, but any, I don't know, last comments and stuff? I really think this is we've learned.
Yeah.
Obviously, we didn't make any sales. So, there's many smiles behind our masks right now, but I will still hold on to light bulbs. I vow to sell them somehow. I don't want them hanging in my room, of course, because there's boxes all over the place.
If I ever need any, I'll call
if you need them or your roommates need light bulbs, probably when I get back in April and May, at that point the taxes will have been filed and everything there this year, and maybe I'll just just give them out. Okay, I lied. We made one sale. My mom. I finally caved in, Adam. She bought 5 light bulbs.
Wow.
So I will distribute that to you somehow. let me figure out how to. I will bring it in a symbolic method next time. How to split $5? We'll figure it out. Also, the Amazon Alexa dot thingy, whatever. I don't know. I'm so excited for that to come. Not only because just to give one to you, but because I bought 6 of them and stuff. I bought them for me and my family too, and I'm so excited for it. I just think it's so cool. And it's cheaper than that $99 HomePod from Apple.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know. I have the currently newest Echo one. And I love it. I don't use it tons, but it works great with my phone, even though it's Apple. So I'm just so excited to give that to you. It hasn't even shipped yet because they haven't even shipped them.
Uh-huh.
But it will come. It literally said December 21st to January 3rd or something like that. So somehow, I assure you, I will meet you and text you around and hey, let's meet at the park at 6, and I'll come give you a little Echo Dot. Do you have one already? Did you order one?
No, I don't.
Okay. But yes, you'll have a free little dot, and if nothing else, you can just resell on KSL and make more money once they take off the sale price. And actually, there's a limit on Amazon, you can only buy 2. But I discovered brand new when I bought it, it said, but if you have a business Amazon account, then you can buy more. And so I signed up for a business account on Amazon. Cheaper and no quantity limits. So that's how I got all these little dots and stuff through the business of adding on to our 14 grand in, you know. But we got $5 to offset it, you know. So how exciting. That is a semester of fall at UVU. I'm so proud to have contributed to your education. I saw that billboard. I love it. Business Insider, which is one of my favorite websites to read, ranked you guys, your school, as third in the nation for best on return in investment and stuff. BYU's down at like 21. Now, of course, if you ask them over there, I mean, let me cover this up, then they're going to say different. But I truly believe it's like a good education here. And it's not like you're paying an arm and a leg relative compared to other places for the education. So, as I keep talking here randomly, I'm like all nervous and awkward, you know? I'm just like, that's what happens when I get nervous as I talk, you know? So yeah, I think, I don't know, I think we can end it there. But I think all is well. We've learned a lot. Hopefully you'll look back on these podcasts when you get past the embarrassment of your voice, the way it sounds. Then,
yeah, that's the biggest thing to get over.
You know, then you can, you'll enjoy it. You did something. You did do something. So don't feel like it was a bad waste of time. I mean, not a complete waste of time. Not 100%, but, you know. Well, with that, I think we'll sign off. And this is the last you'll hear from all of us together.
Yeah.
So, say goodbye, guys.
Later.
See ya.